What we're looking at here, Rush Talk, is a picture of me and my buddy Heather going through Rush Week at the University of Kentucky 20 years ago. I didn't know Heather before college, but we became fast friends, and she was my best buddy during this Rush Week. And Heather was unequivocally the coolest girl going through Rush that year. I'll tell you why in just a minute, but first let's establish some context. First, let's acknowledge that it requires a certain level of privilege and prestige to be associated with any sorority on any campus. But some sororities have more prestige than others. On UK's campus, that was Tridel and AD Pi. That is where you found the pretty rich girls that looked like they never had a bad day in their life. Now, I don't care if you hated those girls, if you resented those girls, if you didn't want nothing to do with those girls. Every girl going through Rush that year wanted an invite back to Tridel and AD Pi, if for nothing more than the validation of knowing that they were at a minimum acceptable on a surface level to the most elite girls on campus. And that was true for every girl except Heather. Heather went into Rush knowing that she wasn't interested in anything but Alpha Zeta Delta. Now let me tell you about Alpha Zeta Delta. I believe this was the first year that Alpha Zeta Delta was recruiting on UK's campus. I think there were like 4 sisters in that house, and this is compared to like hundreds of sisters in every other house. And when you're talking about the girls in Alpha Zeta Delta, let me see, how can I say this? Nobody was going to Alpha Zeta Delta for validation. Nobody was excited about a bid from Alpha Zeta Delta. Nobody was wishing or hoping or praying for a bid from Alpha Zeta Delta. Except for Heather. So we're standing around waiting for our rush day to start. We're all wearing our pretty matching white t-shirts that they had provided. We've all got name tags on. We're getting ready for our day to get started when all of a sudden this bird craps in the sky and drops a load on Heather's pretty white shirt. And every girl standing around her just gasped in horror, myself included, because this is before rush bags were a thing. There was not a shout wipe or a Tide pen on hand anywhere. There was no fixing this. Most of us just would have went to the house, because you can't walk up and trot out an 80 pie with bird crap on your shirt, right? Not Heather. Cool as a cucumber, Heather got a tissue. She wiped the bird poop off of her shirt, took off her name tag, moved it to the other side of her shirt to cover up the bird poop, and she said, "It doesn't matter, I'm going Alpha Zeta Delta anyway." And that, my friends, is why Heather was the coolest girl going through Rush that year.